the UK for Retro Reviews.
G'day guys, and welcome to part 2 of my trip from overseas. This time we are in the UK and we're in Birmingham visiting Entertainment World. What a little hidden gem this store is. If you're into movies, books, games, everything from 8-bit computers all the way up to consoles, records, it has everything, even modern gaming. So let's and toys. So without any further chit chat, let's jump into the video where I'll be narrating over the top, and we even catch up with one of the employees, so stick around for that. Okay, so here we are outside Entertainment World in Birmingham. Very nice selection of stuff in the window alone. If that doesn't bring you into the store, I don't know what will. So here we are, we're starting here at the back of the store, and we'll work our way through. So some nice figures here, some wrestling figures, some action figures. Here is a nice setup for if you want to have a play or maybe test the game. Once again, like Retro Nut in Singapore, lots of stuff in glass cases, but not all in cases, so you can actually physically look at some of the stuff. But yeah, a great selection of Sega Master System there, some Nintendo GameCube, nice statue of Darth Vader there, a terrain armored transport, AT&T Walker. There was so much cool stuff here. It was really, once again, it was so overwhelming. So hopefully I've captured everything really nicely here. But yeah, once again, I wish I could have brought all this back home with me. But, you know, limited space, had to bring it home in a suitcase. But I tell you what, if I lived near this store, they would be so sick of me. I'm sure they'd probably offer me a job because I'd be there so often. This was really cool. I was so tempted. I didn't quite see how much that was, that Skeletor on his evil feline companion, Purple Panther, I believe it was. But yes, look, they even got in-box stuff. The Sega Master System 2, I used to have one of those back in the day. PlayStation, even in television, I think that was up there. Further down, there's just so much stuff. Yeah, it was really hard to focus. A lot of amiibos up there. I have a lot of these, so wasn't that interested. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, Xbox, I think that's Xbox, PS3, no, that's original Xbox, sorry. So, and some, I think these were, I'm not sure if these were Atari or maybe one of the others. There's some joysticks down there. Yeah, there was so much to look at. You'd have to come back and forth, or if you're looking for something in particular, you could spend hours here looking. But my main goal when I was looking in these retro stores in the UK was to look for big box PC games. So much stuff here I wanted to grab. Here's some Switch stuff, some Game Boy there. What do we got over here? Oh, PSP. And this is the section that I really wanted to see. This was all the big box stuff. Now, I didn't go through going through all these big box stuff, but I did go through all this. A good mixture of PC, Amiga, Commodore 64, BBC, Spectrum. I'm sure there was a few other ones there, but yeah, I did go through those. There's He-Man's Battle Cat or Tiger, some model cars, but yeah, so I was really overwhelmed. As you can see, everything is just chock-a-block, full of retro goodness there. So I think I turn around here, I have a closer look here. This is the Atari 2600. And over here we got some, I think these were magazines and comic books. Over on this shelf, I think if I pan down, there was some Commodore 64 manuals, there's not manuals, software, and some more toys, comics, I wasn't quite sure what this was, but I was really intrigued by this Bob Hope golfer. I meant to go back and have a closer look, but I forgot to go back. But here's a heap of action figures, wrestling. I believe wrestling was really big in the UK, like America. It had a bit of a following here in Australia, but I don't think it ever got as big as UK and America. Don't get me wrong, it did have a following in the 80s, but I think it kind of weaned off a bit through the 90s. But yeah, there's heaps here. There's some tapes for the BBC. What's up here? More action figures. I got really excited up here when there's some He-Man stuff there. But there's a Jeep from Jurassic Park, that was pretty cool. And some more He-Man stuff, but the Ghostbuster stuff, oh, I should have really looked at that close. I'm really kicking myself now. The things that you see in videos after you get back home make you really want to go back and have a closer look. Back here, now we're kind of back up where we started from, back to the wrestling. So I'm going to turn around here in a sec. So here's the setup where they've got some of the games playing. I'm assuming you're allowed to play these. Yeah, it was a Sunday when I visited, so there wasn't a lot of people in there at the time I went, but they did start coming in after I had been through the store, so I was lucky to get a shot. There's an X-Wing there, that's very nice. I was tempted to pick that up, and a huge selection of DVDs, retro DVDs. Some more toys up there, but on the other behind this shelf there is VHS. Oh, well, here's some VHS tapes, so yeah, plenty to choose from. And they've got a Sega Master System just down there, but yeah, there's another display cabinet just chock-a-block full of goodness. A lot of Star Trek stuff there, was very tempting. So yeah, they've got a GameCube and a Sega Master System set up there for you to have a look at. More stuff here. They've got what is it? VHS tapes, Blu-rays. Here's the Sega Master System again. I'm not sure what they're playing on now. I didn't look to see. Oh, the Spyro, and I can't think what's on the Mega Drive. But this Star Trek stuff, oh, that was so tempting. And here's all the more VHS stuff, and more DVDs, VHS. So you could find anything you want. I think this is Xbox One and PS5. There's some Wii stuff over here. Nintendo Wii. Back around. So I think that's about it for everything. Some Star Wars figures. And at the back, I didn't really go too far up the back. There was records, and I'm sure there was other stuff there. It was just, like I said, very overwhelming, but wow, I could have spent days in that store, and I'm sure I would have given them all my money. G'day guys, here I am at Entertainment World.
Entertainment World, yeah.
Yeah, and this is Lee. He works here. I just thought Lee might like to say g'day to...
Hello everybody, how you doing?
And yeah, if you're in the UK in Birmingham, I'll put the address down the bottom of the screen or in the comments if you want to come by, and there's some really good stuff which you would have seen in the video. So drop in, say good day to Lee and the owner Rob, and they will probably do you a good deal. They did a good deal for me.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're in the UK or you're coming to the UK, drop by and say good day to Lee or Rob.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up this video, I guess we should go through the games I picked up at Entertainment World. Now there was a lot there that I wanted to pick up, but since I was mainly looking for big box games, I stuck to that, and there was plenty of big box games that I would have loved to bring home, but I did have to travel back to Australia, and I was a bit concerned about my luggage weight, even though in the end I was a little bit under, so I could have probably grabbed one or two more games, maybe even more. I did limit myself to about, I think I got 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 games. So, well, they're not all games, but you'll see in a sec. Okay, So the first thing I picked up was the Monty Python Flying Circus game on the Amiga. Now I mainly tried to stick to consoles I actually had, so I didn't grab any of the BBC or the Z Spectrum games. But I like Monty Python, and I try to pick up their games always. Now this is not a huge big box version, but it's still pretty nice. It's a little worn, but overall not too bad. Now there's the back. If you can see that, get it out of the shot there. And inside it does come with the manual and disc. Now I haven't tried these yet. I've obviously just come back from the UK, so I haven't had time to boot up the Amiga and try it. It doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. It's more about collecting the box for me than it is for the game to work, but if the game works, it is a bonus. So that was the one of the games I picked up, Monty Python's Flying Circus, which will go nice with some of the other big box games I've got of Monty Python. Now the second one is a Commodore 64, technically software, and it's a game that I had on a magazine. I got it on a cassette years ago. I have shown it on this channel many years ago, but I was a bit surprised to come across the Graphic Adventure Creator Kit, the full one. I've only ever seen this in magazines, and the magazine that Commodore Power, I think it was. So I was really thrilled to get this. I don't know, again, I only just got home, so I don't know if it works, but it's just really cool to have this in my collection. Something I mucked around with for years in the early 90s when I got it on cassette. But this one actually, so there's the back, and it's in really nice condition. Everything was in pretty reasonable condition considering how old some of this stuff is. So inside, it's in a clamshell here. It comes with the book and a disc, so it's on disc, and it also has cassette. So I'm not sure if the program I've got on the I got off the magazine was the full version or not. So I might have to double check that, but I'm just really stoked to pick this up for the Commodore 64. Okay, moving back to the Amiga, I picked up another game I used to see in the magazines, but I've never really seen it for sale in Australia. Now, not saying it wasn't for sale in Australia, but it's something I never come across in any of the game stores I went to, because, you know, these things would come and go on their popularity. I guess if they didn't sell, they were sent back to the publisher or the distributor, and if you didn't see it at the time, you didn't get it. And I never got a pirated copy. So this one I got was Airbucks. Now I got this mainly just for nostalgia, because me and my mate used to love playing Ports of Call on the Amiga, which I've talked about in other videos, and I thought this is kind of would have been up our alley if we could have got it. So I was really happy with that. And I had a couple of copies of this. This one I went to because somebody had marked stuff out, and I thought that might be helpful when I get around to giving it a play. So this one had £6 already on it. Most of these he kind of looked up and priced them for me as I brought them up to the counter. So he did give this to me for £6, so that was pretty good. So yeah, here's the back, and again the boxes are in really nice condition. And I'll just open it up here. So it comes with the discs, and all the manuals are here. And I'll just show you this. and this is somebody's written this out, which I think is something to do with the airline. So this game here, it's a bit like Ports of Call, where I believe, if I read the back correct, okay, so the idea is you got to be the first airline to travel across the Atlantic, like have a airline route across the Atlantic. And I guess basically you run an airline, so it's a bit like Ports of Call in the way you've got to. It's more of a you're running an airline business. I believe there was an update to this that came out on the early 90s PCs. And maybe mid-90s I should say, not mid-PCs. So yeah, if you can't find Airbucks, you might be able to find Airbucks 2.0, I think it was called. So it might be worth keeping an eye out. But I'm looking forward to having a go at this if I can, and just seeing what it was all about. It just looked interesting to me, and like I said, it was a bit of nostalgia because me and my mate used to play Ports of Call all the time on the Amiga. Okay, the next game I got is another C64 game. I probably should have done these in order of consoles. And this is another one I seen in magazines, but I've never been able to get a copy of. I don't know if I just couldn't find it online or what was going on. But it's the Paul McCartney Road Street game. Apparently this came out, I think it was about 86 it came out, and it was based on his album Broad Street. And the point of the game apparently is your last track of the album has gone missing, and you have to drive around London, run into your bandmates or the engineers that are on the album, and see if they've got some of the missing parts of that track, so you can put it back together so you can get that track back to the distributor or the producer of the album. Otherwise you end up going broke, or you get sued because you didn't produce the album that you were meant to. So another one I haven't played, but it was just one that I always heard about and never got a chance to have a go at. I don't know how difficult it is, so I'm going to have a go at this and have a play. But there's the back. Now, it's a clamshell again, in really nice condition. Now it does come with, I think, this book here. I do pamphlet, and it's on cassette, and I believe inside, I won't take it out because I might do a closer up shot or take it out. It has maps of London, which is apparently pretty accurate to London itself, and gives you clues. Inside the cover here, you fold it out like a map, and it has clues of where you could run into your engineers, your backup singers, your drummer, and all the people that help you produce the track that you're searching for. So I thought that was really interesting. Really glad to put in my collection. And lastly, a game I never heard of. I think this came out after I kind of got out of the Amiga scene and moved into more PC. And so I don't think I remember seeing this, Liberation. So I'm not 100% sure what this is about. I just thought it was one I hadn't seen before. Cool artwork box, because I'm all about the box artwork here. So I'm not sure what to say on the back here. Enter the 29th century and enter a dying world, commercially exploited by huge corporate state corporations. That doesn't sound familiar today at all. I think you must take control of your 4 droids and explore the city zones in an attempt to free captives. So it sounds like you go around and you've got to free slaved people who are slaves to the corporation. But that's another game I'm looking forward to exploring and finding out more about. So yeah, once again, in really nice condition. This one is in really nice condition, so I don't think This is what makes me think this might have been like one of the last few games to come out on the Amiga. So it does come with the manual, discs, and somebody's created a save disc here. So I do have some save discs, I think that's what that is. So yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring that one as well. Liberation. It sounds interesting. I just really like the artwork. It gave me some nostalgia about picking Amiga games up in the past. So yeah, so that's everything I picked up in Birmingham at Entertainment World. Like I said, there was heaps of stuff. There was toys, there was VHS tapes, LPs, CDs, what else was there? There was Mega Drive, there was NES, even PS5 stuff. So there was something there for everyone, even statues, consoles, in box, everything as you probably saw from the video. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. So that was my trip to the UK via Singapore. Hope you enjoyed these last two videos. If you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because it really does help. And don't forget to like and share this video. I've also have, if you want to be a member, you can now join memberships. You get some unique emojis to use in comments and that if you want to use those. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.
Born in the fight for pixel glory, chasing that old school